Hello and welcome or welcome back to episode 17 of Sarah's Stitch. I am Sarah, I am 28 years old, and I live in Hoboken, New Jersey, which is right across the river from New York City. I work in the city. I usually go into my office in Times Square Tuesdays through Thursdays and work from home Mondays through Fridays. And by work from home, I mean I knit and occasionally work. And this is my knitting podcast where I can share with all of you my finished objects, works in progress, plans, ideas, all of that good stuff. And I can talk to all of you about it rather than my friends and family because none of them are knitters and they're sick of hearing me tell them about all of my plans all the time. So, if you're a returning viewer, you may notice slightly different change of venue. We're currently in my old bedroom of my old apartment. I'm in the process of moving, and my living room where I normally film is a disaster because furniture has been taken apart, is somewhat moved. There's movers coming today to move the bigger parts of it. It's a disaster down there. My new apartment, none of the furniture is set up yet, or it's half set up, so we're in the bedroom today. Hopefully it's okay. And we have overhead lighting because we are getting all of the smoke from the fires in Canada. So it's very, very dark here right now. Maybe at the end I'll flick the lights off and you can see how dark it is in here. But if you're in Canada and watching this, I hope you're staying safe. If you're getting affected by the smoke in the US or in Canada, be careful. Apparently it's bad. My TikTok is just nonstop. Smoke is bad, smoke is bad. I was like, gotta move in the middle of this. So there's been a lot of strenuous activity outside in the smoke, which is definitely not good. So I hope everyone else is doing what you're supposed to be doing and not going outside. But okay, just pointing out, it is dark. I'm filming this after I filmed my episode. I'm gonna try and slot it in while I'm talking about the fires, but this is how light it is outside right now, and it's 2 p.m. in the afternoon. 2 p.m. Like, it is crazy dark. I'm gonna go maybe take some videos outside too. I don't know if it will come across, but we are not used to this here. This is a whole new world, so yeah, it's crazy. All right, bye. Let's get started. Today's going to be a quick one. I'm just looking around at my stuff around me. I do not have any finished objects because of the move. I've been pretty much moving little bits over to the new apartment every day, like the last week, pretty much. So, in all my spare time, not working. So, I have not really knit since last weekend, and before then I didn't knit. I've only knit the last 2 weekends, so I haven't been knitting at all during the weekdays. But I will get started with my works in progress. I have made a bit of progress on a few things, so I'll go through that. And it will be a quick episode today. So let's start with, I think this is what I've made the most progress on. This is the Ingrid sweater that I'm making for my mom. It's by Petite Knit, and I'm knitting it out of Lang Yarns Mallow Light. I can't remember the name and color number. I don't know if it's named or not, but it is this really pretty beigey gray oatmeal kind of color. It's heathered. It's beautiful. And it is, I was putting on this a lot. I think it is, I want to say it's 65% alpaca, 35 wool, or something around there. It's definitely heavy in alpaca. It's super, super soft. And I know it's 190 grams per 50. Try again. It is 190 meters per 50 grams because I got it with my mom in Chamonix when we were there for Christmas. She picked it out. She wanted a sweater made out of it. She specifically wanted the Ingrid sweater made out of it. And I looked at the yardage and I'm like, yeah, that's probably good enough. And I was looking at it this past weekend and I was like, ooh, is that good enough? But so far so good. It's turning out well. So this is the progress I have on it. I still don't have a neck and I'm very sorry about it. So it's gonna look a little ugly, but as you can see, we have a full body and almost a full sleeve. I'm just on the last bit of ribbing in the pattern before switching down to the smaller needles. This is the second time I'm making the sweater. I'm making the same kind of adjustments to the pattern that I made for my own, which is the green one made out of the Lobby Anime Koi Confetti. And for this and the one I made, I am doing decreases. I'm continuing decreases all the way down the sleeve. I think the pattern calls for you to stop after the check section, but I'm continuing down. And for my mom, because she has longer arms than me, I'm going to do about another inch of this 2x2 ribbing and then continue with the pattern for the 1x1 ribbing. And for the neck, it's not done yet, but it will just be 2x2 ribbing folded over on the neck. And despite using a much lighter lighter yarn than was called for in the pattern, I'm saying much like I don't know. I think the pattern is originally written for fingering plus mohair, so like a DK-ish, and this is pretty much just fingering. But it's turning out pretty well. It's definitely very light and airy. Sorry for the clacking from the needles. Light, airy, like drapey. It just feels very drapey and not stiff, so I think my mom's going to love it. And I'm making the size small, and I will try to remember to measure my gauge when I'm done with it, but I didn't do a gauge swatch for this because I didn't feel like it. I've made it before. I know it's oversized, so I went for the size I would normally make for my mom. And yeah, so this is the Ingrid. I'm hoping to have, so I think last time I just put it together in the round. So this part has flown by, the bottom of the body and then the arm. I think I knit this much of the arm in like 3 or 4 hours. So it is flying by. And I love that it's all broken up with different textures. So it kind of motivates you to get to the next texture and you don't get too bored of it. But that is the Ingrid. Next, I will quickly go over this one because we've all seen it for very, very long. This is my Dear Duomo. It is by Song Hee Hong, and I'm knitting it out of Explore Knits and Fibers Irish Goodbye on the tweed fingering base held double, and it is the most beautiful, beautiful green in the world. It has a 1x1 rib at the bottom. Hopefully you can see that. And it is drop shoulder configured with, I did the I did the master stitch shoulder seam, which I think turned out really, really nice. And I think that's it. I'm just finishing up the ribbing on my cuff for the first sleeve, and then I'm going to do the neck quickly. After I finish the sleeve, I just the pattern calls for a crochet hook to pick up stitches, I think, and I didn't have a crochet hook in the size I needed on hand because I'm mid-move and everything is chaos. But I'm loving this. I think this is going to be such a phenomenal sweater to wear, just like sweatshirty, because it's like a classic solid color, like will go with everything. It's like perfect weight. I'm obsessed. I need to get this done because I love it so much, but it's now June and like, why do I need a sweater? I don't know, you tell me. But here we are. So those are the two projects you all have seen before. The next two I don't think I've shown on the podcast. I know I've talked about my vest. I have not, but I started it Memorial Day weekend, so a few weeks ago. So first I will go through my sock that I'm working on. I cast this on at the start of summer sock camp this year, which is run by Kay Litton from the Crazy Sock Lady. And it's just knit as many or as few socks as you'd like all summer long. And it's fun. I love knitting socks. I think it's a very quick way to just like instant gratification. But I don't knit as many as I used to, probably because I've been sweater obsessed lately, but I need to get back on the sock knitting game because I miss how quick these go. So these are my socks I'm knitting. The pattern is also from Kayla In. I believe it's called Come Away or something like that. I'll put it on the screen. It's this really pretty patterned or textured, I should guess, sock with, sorry, I don't have my sock blockers. I really hope this is in focus. It's ribbed with like a little bit of a twist in between the rib. I don't know if you'll be able to tell from the yarn. And the yarn I'm using is a Homespun House. It's a one-of-a-kind colorway from the Little House on a Prairie Club. And I believe this color is Little Town on the Prairie. And it is just like jam-packed, full of like super, super saturated pops of color. And I love when Molly does skeins like this. Like you can really see on the bottom of the foot how just saturated and how many colors there are on this. And yeah, this is the first sock. This probably was about, I don't know, a day or two of knitting. I was not very busy at work, so it kind of flew by. I'm knitting these, as you can see, on DPNs on 2mm. I knit all my socks on 2mm for the most part. I did have a brief stint where I tried 1.75s because I was getting a little bit too loose for my liking, but socks that's on needles that small take 1,200 years. And I've not finished any of the socks I started on those needles because they take forever. So back to 2mm. The pattern calls for an eye of partridge heel. Again, I think it might be a little bit difficult to see just based off of the yarn choice, but I'm hoping you can kind of tell. And I'm doing 64 stitches. I think that's it. 2x2 rib sock at the top and then straight into the pattern. So these are these. I think the next pair of socks I cast on will be vanilla because I've done a lot of textured socks lately. I still have my, what are they called? The socks I have from Summerly Knits, her In Bloom set, they're lace. So I still have, I have these and a lace set on my needles along with all my other one sock wonders. So I'd like just a plain stockinette sock, especially once I finish this. I will not have any stockinette on my needles, which seems like a crime. So, and the last thing I've worked on, which is very much so work in progress attempt and has been pulled out, but will hopefully be getting cast on again soon, is my vest. So if you were here for, I think, my spring plans video, I talked about how I wanted to make a vest or a sweater using my mom's family, my mom's mom, so my grandma. Her family's from Scotland and Ireland, and their last name's Crawford, and I looked online to see if there was a Crawford clan cable, and there is. So I'm attempting to make a pattern for a vest that has the cable on it because the cable doesn't exist anywhere in pattern form from my extensive researching, because it's a more on the complicated side of a cable pattern that I didn't really want to have to make it up if I didn't have to, but it would appear I have to. So this is the start of it. It is, what am I knitting it of? Alpaca wool from Sandusgarn. The colorway I think is like blue denim or something like that, blue jeans. The color number is 6052, but this is really pretty like cornflowery blue colorway, and the meterage on this is 100 meters per 50 grams. So I'd say right like a perfect DK weight, and it is 65% alpaca, 35% wool. And I don't know if this is superwash or not. Okay, so I cast it on bottom up because I didn't want to figure out construction top down because I was not in a mental ability to do so. So we started bottom up, and this is how far I've gotten. I hope that's turning out. And the reason it is now off needles is because I think the size of it is good for like my bust measurement. Here, let me stand up. Like for me, I think it has the right amount of ease I would want, but I messed up cables on both sides. So I figured I would rip it out, and I didn't love how much of a gap there was between these two middle, oh God, I'm using my back facing camera, so it's tough to see. I didn't love the spacing between these two cables. Right now I think there's 2 pearls, so I'm gonna bump that down to 1 just so it's all kind of tighter, closer together. And I was gonna maybe go down a needle size because it's a little gapey. I don't know if you'll be able to tell or not, but it's a little loose. So this is the attempts of my first pattern. I don't know if I'll write it up, but this is it. I also can't decide if I like just the plain stockinette on the sides. So how I have it right now is a cable up the middle in the front, and it's going to be the same on the back, and then stockinette, and then right under the arm is another repeat of this cable, or these 2 cables. So, and again, I think I'm just going to do 1 purl stitch on either side because I'm not loving how much purl space there is compared to knit. And yeah, it's turning out okay so far. It is a bit of a headache to draw out the cable, I guess, but so far so good. This is it. Maybe I will take it in a little bit because stretched out it's huge, and I don't want it that big. I want it to be like this big when blocked. So maybe I should swatch. Crazy idea. But yes, so this is the start of my Crawford vest. Maybe it will be a pattern one day. Hopefully it will be, but I would like to get this done fully before we go to Scotland. I'm going to Scotland with my mom and my aunt, and I think that in September, and I think this would be like a great thing to bring with me to just have as an extra warmth piece, and also I think it'd be fun to take pictures of it there. So hopefully I will be able to figure it out before then and work on it. So that is it from me for today. I told you everyone it would be a quick one. Yeah, under 20 minutes, hopefully. So thank you so much for watching and being with me here today. Hopefully I will be back next week or the week after, fully moved, in a nice new setup, same furniture, just different apartment, more light, and we'll have a little bit more knitting progress to show you because I will be done moving, and I'm so excited for that. There's been a lot of IKEA building and disassembling and assembling in my life lately. I love building IKEA furniture, but I would love to not be building IKEA furniture for a little bit. So if you like this video, please like, comment, let me know if you have any suggestions on what you would do differently on this vest. If you like where it's going, what were you knitting on or working on, crocheting on while you watch this. Follow me on Instagram, subscribe to me here. We're close to 1,000. Not super close, but we're close-ish, and that's so exciting to me. And I realized since I'm moving how much yarn I have. So I'm thinking of doing a giveaway and maybe doing a few different ones because I've got a lot of yarn. There's no way I will ever knit through it all, and I would love to say thank you to all of you for subscribing, being here. So let me know what you think of that, what you'd be interested in. I've got about 1 million self-striping socks, sock yarns, a ton of just like mini sets that are adorable that I think would be so fun. And like if you're participating in summer soft camp, perfect. So I'm thinking about maybe putting together a few different giveaway packages for when we get to 1,000 subscribers, which is so exciting. But maybe I'll do polls on Instagram to see what people would want. So follow me there if you are interested about that. And that is it. I will see you all next time. Have a good one. Bye.